Can you hear me now, Stephanie? Is my volume okay now? Is my volume okay now? Okay, I'm not sure what happened. I'm not sure what happened at all. I wanted to come on and just kind of have a transparent moment. It has been a day of uncertainties, not the right word. A day of shock for me. I will say that with everything that God has, told me to do, it has been some things that I did not expect to do. I'm not sure if anybody has ever like had God tell you to do something that you didn't expect to have to do. And, you find yourself, kind of dealing with, uncertainties, kind of dealing with, all of the what if faults, wondering about the how. It has been one of those type of days. Hey, Miss Allen. Hey, Visha. It's been one of those type of days for me. Hey, Mrs. Etna. It's been one of those days where I'm literally like, Lord, you know, I didn't expect to have to like, sell my furniture or whatever the case may be. And it has unconsciously brought out fears that I did not know that I have. It is unconsciously brought out fears that like I didn't know that like I even had. Has anybody ever like dealt with that, God telling you to do something and you do what God says, and then once you do what God says, you're just, it's like now you're having to like deal with all of the fears that you didn't know you had. And I think a lot of times like what shocks us the most when God tells us to do it is that sometimes those instructions seem to like come out of nowhere, and it makes you feel like, well, what about this situation, what about that? And it's almost like he disrupts your plans, what you felt you were going to do, and it puts you in a position where it's kind of like you have no choice in that moment but to trust God. Like that has been me. I went ahead after the last broadcast. Right now I'm waiting on the cable, not the cable guy, the carpet guy. But so far I've done every single thing that God has asked me to do, from putting the furniture on the Facebook marketplace thing and just playing the waiting game. And I found myself after being, hey, blessings to you, Pastor Run. I found myself like after doing like what God wanted me to do with posting like the furniture for sale, I found myself like concerned. I found myself like truly concerned. Like, God, I already got all this hanging in the balance. Like, the last thing I was trying to do was like literally feel like I'm having to start with like from like ground zero. Like, I pray that I'm making sense. Like, sometimes God will tell you to do something, and you can kind of take, you can kind of roll with certain punches. But then it's like certain things that God asks you to do, because it's so sacrificial, and your mind will wonder to like, well, what am I gonna have? Because that was like literally my concern. Like, God, I don't want to move into a house and not have a sofa, not have, I can do without a dining room table for now. But the sofa, I'm like, what am I even gonna sit on? Like, I found myself like literally freaking out. And so as I, just sat in God's presence concerning like feeling so very like uneasy, and just feeling like this is another thing that like I have to be concerned about. I gotta get the home, um inspected tomorrow. Then I have all these other things, closing costs. It just feels like God, right when you feel like you get to a point of like equilibrium where you can kind of breathe, it's like, okay, well, God, that instruction kind of just knocked the wind out of me, because I didn't see that coming, and it wasn't something that I was even wanting to do. I pray that I'm making sense. And so as I'm sitting in God's presence, you know what he told me? Y'all want to know what he told me? Give me a one, give me an emoji if you want to know what God's response to me. Like, I'm freaking out. Well, God, like, what am I have? I ain't trying to move into my house with not a sofa to sit on. Like, I'm just absolutely trying not to. You know what he told me? He said, "You're worried that you won't have what you need." You're worried that you will not have enough money for what you need. And he straight up told me, this is why you stressed. This is why you're finding yourself feeling uneasy. Because I'm putting you in a position where you literally have no choice but to trust me. And he said, your obedience to me, to doing what I asked you to do, it only highlighted the fear that was still lingering. He straight up told me that. I'm gonna be real. It still don't feel good to hear that, especially when you know, like, God, I'm trying my best. I'm trusting you. I'm doing, every single thing that, you know, I need to do. But you're gonna sit up here and tell me like I'm not trusting you or that I have fear. And really, like, he was being like, I can see it. I can see it because sometimes, God requires that we trust him greater when we already have stuff that, like, we're waiting on, stuff that, like, we're believing God for. And so today has been a very uneasy day for me. I'm just going to be real. It has been a very uneasy day of just having to obey and, me not knowing how it's going to play out. Like, okay, God, you telling me to sell my sofa, which I absolutely love. You telling me to sell my dining room table, which I absolutely love. And so it's been a day of me just having to try to make peace. I've obeyed what he wanted me to do, but it's been one of those days where I've just had to just trust God, even in being uncertain and uneasy. Am I making sense? Am I making sense? And so, that is what today has been like for me. I guess I had gotten to a place of just comfort, right? The comfort of knowing, okay, I got everything I need. I just need a refrigerator. And then God is like, sell the sofa, sell the table, sell it all. And so that is what today has been. It's been a day of me just having to face fears. And it's put me in a position where I have absolutely like no choice but to trust God. Am I freezing? Because I don't see any comments. Am I freezing? Am I freezing? Okay. So that is kind of, the update on where I am right now. And I know we all go through, moments like that, moments where what God is asking us to do, not only does it scare us, but it makes us uneasy. And it makes us wonder about, well, God, if I do this, what about this situation? What about that situation? Or sometimes we have plans already pre-made or pre-worked up in our mind, that it's like, when God hits you with the do this instead of what you wanted to do, like, it can be very frustrating. It can like make you like have like a temper tantrum, if you have not gotten to that point of like truly surrendering. It can be moments like this can make you, like, be stagnant, where you got so much fear that you just choose to like abort mission, disobey God, do your own thing anyway. And so it's definitely been a day of me having to trust, God, beyond like my own understanding, beyond like, what I feel I should do. It's also been an experience where God has not allowed me to play it safe. He has not allowed me to have like a safety net or anything like that. It's literally been like, you're not gonna have a choice but to like trust me with this. I know you're trying to, make it a little bit easier because it already feels so overwhelming, but it's literally been like any little, safety net that I have, like God has literally just been like, no, nope. Anything that keeps me from like having to, I guess, exercise my faith, God has literally been like, negative. We're not doing that. We are literally not doing that. But like, it's like when you think about the process, our processes do the same thing. Like the safety nets that we feel we've set in place, and safety nets are a defense mechanism. Safety nets can be people, safety nets can be finances, safety nets can be, a job. Safety nets can be whatever it is, but really what a safety net is, I'm gonna, have this just so I won't have to get to a place where I have to really depend on God. And so when you think about the process, a certain degree has really like depleted any safety net. God has like, he removes every single safety net that we have, whatever the case may be, job, person, whatever the case may be. God be like, up, if you gonna do this, do it for real. Yep. Faith is very scary. And the safety net is fear. Absolutely. And so it's like, entering into a new season, God ensures, even like when our faith is being stretched beyond beyond what it's ever been stretched to, like entering into like a new season, God is still like, I know, because stretching is uncomfortable. Think about a rubber band. Think about a rubber band. A rubber band has a certain amount of elasticity, right? What happens when you stretch the rubber band to capacity? Like, instead of it feeling loose and stretchy, it gets really, really tight. It gets really, really tight, right? And if you keep stretching, like, once the rubber band has reached its max, what happens? The rubber band pops. Everybody has had a rubber band pop on them, a scrunchy pop on them. Every single person has at least seen it or had it happen. It breaks. And so a lot of times our faith is the rubber band. And so with every single season, with every single circumstance, with every single process that God puts us through, like, he is gradually stretching us. We're the rubber band. He's gradually stretching us. And so in moments where our faith is being stretched to a place where it's never ever been, it's tight like a rubber band that is reached the max of what is able to like be stretched. And so a lot of times when our faith is being stretched, we feel pressure. Give me a one if you can say, like, yeah, Pastor, I've been feeling pressure. I ain't never had to trust God this way. I've had to trust him in the past, but just not this much. And so it's like, that's how I've been feeling. Like, I'm not, new to having to trust you, Lord. I ain't new to it. But this level of how I'm having to trust you, it's at a level where I've never had to trust you at this level before. I've trusted you all these years, but now that I'm entering into this phase, it's like I almost feel like I'm about to break. I'm about to like literally break. If you stretch me anymore, Father, it's literally going to be over with. It's literally going to be over with. That's how I've been feeling. And so it's like today just like kind of brought it all out, the tension of the stretch. I need somebody to type those words in. The tension of the stretch. It gets to you. It makes you, feel like, God, not only am I uncertain because this is new, but I'm at the max here. Where I feel like, Lord, if you pull me anymore, stretch me anymore, this rubber band is literally going to snap. The tension of the stretch. That's what many of us are feeling. New seasons require like a greater level of faith. New seasons require a greater level of faith. It really and truly does. New seasons require a newer level of faith, which is why the stretching is necessary. And it's also why, in moments like where we feel like stretched to the max, our first mindset as humans, because no one likes to be uncomfortable, our first mindset is run to a safety net, play it safe, right? Have something to lean back on. Y'all know I'm talking truth. The moment we begin to feel stretched, we want to run. Tell me I'm lying. I'll wait. I will wait. I'll wait. I'll wait. Come on. I'll wait. Can't nobody say anything. Because we've all had God stretch us in a way that we've never been stretched. And our first response has been cling on to comfort. Let me run. Let me try to make this make this not be so overwhelming. Let me find a little bit of comfort. Let me cling to a little bit of comfort while I'm being stretched. And so what God begins to do is, sorry, y'all. I don't know who that was. And so it's like as God begins to stretch us, what literally begins to happen is he removes the safety net. because he knows my child does not want to be stretched. Nobody willingly wants to be stretched. You can say that all day long, all you want to. But I don't care what nobody says. When God begins to stretch you, you be like, let me run in the opposite direction. It's like getting in a pool and you don't know how to swim, right? And you find yourself edging towards the 6 feet. What you gonna do? If you know you can't swim, baby, you're not gonna keep going towards the 6 feet. You are about to turn around and go the opposite direction so that you will not drown. Many of us have that same approach to God calling us into the deep, to God getting us to a place that, where we've never ever been before. Our first response is, that is too deep, God. That is too much. Let me play it safe. Let me play it safe. And so what I've been experiencing in this home buying process is just God saying, listen, I know you want to cling to comfort. I know you don't want to be stretched. But as you maneuver through this thing, I had to remove whatever safety nets that you were trying to run to so that you will fully trust me. Because the question becomes, how can we really get to a place of deeper faith if we're not willing to be stretched? I'm going to say it again. How can we get to a place of greater faith if we are not willing to be stretched? Many people will say that they're with God, pull me into the deep, but baby, do you really know what that means? That means that you about to go into some foreign territory. Come on, that means, right? It means that you're not going to be comfortable. It's going to be uncomfortable. But it's like, how? And so it's like the stretching is necessary. Hey, Jocelyn. The stretching becomes literally necessary. It's necessary. And so this journey with this process has really stretched me beyond, like, I've never had to trust God on this level. And I can say that without a doubt in my heart. I've never had to trust God on this level. And it's been scary. And I guess in a sense, I've been throwing subtle, temper tantrums, because it's like, God, I don't want to sell this furniture. I want to keep it. I love it. I don't want to sell it. I don't want to do that. I don't want to have to wear the pressure of, now I need furniture. I don't want to do that. And it's like, God had a moment, and pretty much in a sense, he told me there's no other way. It's no other way. If you want this next level, there's no other way. It's no other way but for you to trust me. There's literally no other way. No other way. And it's like, in a sense, when God shared that with me, what I took from that is God saying, now, you can willingly choose to trust me, or you can keep throwing these temper tantrums. Because at the end of the day, the process is still going to be the process. It's still going to be the same. It's still going to be the same. No matter what you do, the process is still going to be the same. And that's what I got from my time with God just now. I was wrestling, y'all. I'm not even going to lie to y'all. I was not comfortable with that. Still don't want to do it, but I did it. And so that's it. Has this helped anyone? Has this helped anyone? Has this helped anyone? Whew. No words can explain how I feel right now. I really don't have words. I really don't have words. I kid y'all not. I really don't have words. I absolutely do not have words. And I think my mindset has kind of been like, God, I don't have a problem trusting you, but like, it's so much all at the same time. Like, if you just let me knock a few of these things out, like, this is legitimately how I've been feeling. Like, if you just let me knock a few of these things out, I won't mind doing this. But he's been making me do it all at once. Like, I know you want to just chill and let me do one thing after the other, but no. And so that's just kind of how, I've been. And I think what's been keeping me is that I've just been trying to stay focused. I've been trying to continue to be receptive. And I honestly, I've just been choosing to trust God, if that makes sense. I've literally just been choosing to trust God. That's it. That's it. That's it. And so right now we still have a goal of, I had to go get me a snack, y'all, because I don't have any food here. And so I just went to the dollar store and got me a snack. But right now our goal for the home inspection is at 297. That is where we are. I'm hoping to get that paid for um before tomorrow. The inspection is at 8 a.m. tomorrow. And so I have to pay it online before the guy gets there. And so that is where the funds are going to go. I'm still a little bit overwhelmed. I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. So I'm still a little bit overwhelmed by everything that I have to get done. I'm trying not to be overwhelmed, but I'm choosing to move forward in faith. And so that is our goal, 297. It's just so that I can get a home inspection, which, typically you cannot avoid that when you're purchasing a home, especially a new construction home. It does not matter what you guys sow. You can sow $10, you can sow 100, you can sow two, you can sow 1,000, you can sow whatever God leads you to sow. But that's just where we are on the update. I still have to get dog food because they ran out this morning. And so whatever else is sown beyond that, I plan to. I want to say dog food is like $13 for them, a small bag. And so that's just where I am. And so that's where the money is going. So I guess, what is 297 plus 13? Can somebody tell me what 297 plus 13 is? Can someone tell me what 297 plus 13 is? Y'all know I'm not good at math. That's 310. So we just got 21 in. I'm doing math. Can y'all believe it? Y'all should see me scribbling on this paper trying to figure out what this is. We'll take 2 off. So 19. 310 minus 19. Listen, Natasha, it wasn't my strong point either. It was not my strong point either. So 310 minus 19, that is where we are. 310 minus 19 is 291. So that's where we are right now. 291 is our goal. And so for those of you guys that are sewing, just label it paid in full. So I'll keep you guys updated as funds come in. I really don't have any more words, y'all. I wish I did. But it's one of those things where I'm literally just trying to wrap my mind around everything that is happening, because things are literally happening so fast that my head is spinning. Amos 9 and 13 style. It's definitely spinning. And so that is where we are, 291. I do plan to go and get dog food once I'm done working out. And so that's it, y'all. That is it. There are 2 ways to sow. Can you put them again, Stephanie? You can sow via PayPal, or you can sow via the Cash App. And again, if you're sowing, just label it paid in full. Can you put the links one more time? And to those of you guys that need prayer for anything, or have prayer, well, not prayer requests, prayer for anything, or testimonies, you guys can send those prayer requests and testimonies to prayer.thoughtsbyt at gmail.com. And so that is it for now, y'all. I love y'all. I am rooting for you. And so till next time, y'all.